Okay. Okay. No audio. Let's get that fixed. Still don't see anything coming through. Hmm. Moo. Moo moo. Okay, I see stuff coming through now. That's good. That's insane. Bigger Quag. Bigger Quag. Blurry. Okay, let me see. Let me see what I can do here. Grab my little hex camera at the bottom there. We're going to unlock it. Ooh. That makes me look funny. Reset train. Ooh. Too big. Way too big. Boom. There you go. Way too big in my opinion, but less blurry. And thank you about the audio. I went to check that earlier. I thought it was working okay, but apparently not. Got the little things down there telling me about my audio. All right, crafting station. I was going through the whole workup. First thing we needed to do was make a controller. We got the controller in place, and then made the disk drive and the crafting grid for that. And now we need to put disks in there, so I have to make all the fun disks. Let's see, refined disk, 1K storage disk, 1K storage part. It sucks because we got to go through each one of these individually for the advancements. That's fine. Bam, we officially have a disk in there. All right, and so on and so forth. We will be making 4K, 8K, all the way through those discs, all the way to 64, and then I believe this one has the expansion on it so that you can go all the way up to like 1,000,000 or something like that. It's ridiculous. But we're going to do this for the... You know what, I'll make a bunch of them. Ooh, need to go get the basic processors. So, if I do this right, I can get through the entire bit of this and start into automation very soon. So with automation, I think is the... did I bring enough glass? No, that's not right. I swore I brought like 2 or 3 stacks of glass. Okay, a bunch of glass. But automating makes everything easier in here. Like it legitimately brings everything up, but you have to have storage in your system, otherwise the automation parts of it don't work very well. I used external storage the last time I did this and kept it 100% in the storage drawers for the external storage, so I had to make one of everything before I could automate everything. Like, okay, so let me make a 4K disk real quick. Pop that in there so I actually have okay storage. And we can actually then, I think with 4K and a 1K, might be able to put stuff in there. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, barely. Oh, what am I doing? I think this box here holds more than what I can put in my storage system right now. Yeah, we're getting close. Process bindings. I'll just bring the main things in. close to full. Okay, so I'll hold off on that. Make a 16K disk. Okay, we can make 12 of those. Clear 16. 4 of those, which means we can make a 64. Just like that. So we will make us a 16 and a 64. And that'll be much better storage. Boop. Put all that in there now. Doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the basis of digital storage. You put all of your stuff inside of there, and then you craft out of it, and it just pulls out of the storage. You can have an external storage bus, which you then connect over to the controller right here for the drawers. And you know what? What I might do is actually run cable from here over to there. I could do better planning than what I have here. It's honestly enough. The power should be one higher than what it is. Yeah, it's fine. So external storage, and then it can pull from there instead of having to dump everything in here. And I can actually utilize having, you know, compacting drawers. So I dump iron in here, and it says, oh, you've got a bunch of iron, you've got iron ingots, it's good to go. Looks like I'm actually really low on iron. How am I that low on iron? I have 8 ingots. Okay. So iron clusters. Okay, yeah, it's a bunch of iron. So I'm gonna go triple my return here. And first thing I'm gonna do, cruise over here to the squeezer. All these things in, let those get squeezed. So it'll take 1 iron cluster and dump out 3 iron dust. Then I put the dust into the enrichment chamber, and that 1 dust becomes an iron ingot. So in essence, 1 of those becomes 3. That's it. Fusing, enriching. Come on. Oh no, these ones go straight into smelting, sorry. I was thinking about the diamonds. Diamonds go into the enrichment thing to change them from dust back to diamonds. So cluster to dust to diamonds there. This one goes straight to the smelting factory. Boop, iron. So I've got to get import-export bus set up for that, because that's going to be extremely important. Ooh. Okay. So first thing we want to do is make a crafter and a crafting. Okay, so crafter first. Destruction core. And no. Destruction core. Boop. Crafter. Boop. Boop. Done. Way easy to do. Okay, that I think I'm gonna set up my crafting stuff on this side, but I gotta make some cable real quick. This is gonna drive me nuts. 1, 2, that should be enough for now. Okay, so the cable is like the lifeline or the nervous system for this entire system. And it's what's going to transfer power between all the bits and pieces. pretty sure data as well. So like this. Boop, 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 boop. I can set up my crafter like so. Not exactly how I wanted it, but that's fine. So what the crafter does is you'll put patterns in here and it will process them. And then if you have a crafter hooked up to like a chest or something like that that has the materials taken out of it, you can hook it up to a smelter, you can hook it up to a metallurgic infuser, all sorts of stuff. And it gets incredibly complex with that. So this is going to be fun. All right, so now we need to do patterns. All right, so pattern grid. Oh, ooh. Okay, gotta go process those. And gonna sleep because all of my power is based off of daylight. Okay. I'm gonna have to get used to that. Grid. This one, that. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 of those. Just get that done. So I know we're gonna need a bunch of these. Okay, so there's the grid. Let's make a pattern. 19 of them. And we have a pattern grid. Pattern grid is going to let us take these patterns, put them in there, and then we can either do a processing where one set of things becomes another, or an exact where you have a essentially processing, you'll have your raw materials turn into a processed material through the smelting and stuff like that. And it essentially dictates how many materials go in and then how many of those materials come out, which is very useful if you are trying to use something like a metallurgic infuser, and that way you can say, okay, well, we're going to put in such and such amount of redstone and iron or osmium and that kind of thing, so you get your parts out of it, and that's a whole part of processing. Same thing for putting in sand and then getting glass out of it, and that's how that works. With the exact, that is a crafting recipe, like straight crafting. So anything you can do in a 3x3 space to craft something, like, you know, one log turns into 4 planks, that kind of thing. You can put that through here and it would process it. So things that I would do for that would be all of the parts. So for like this, 1 by 1, 4K, 16K, 64K. Okay, and then each one of these represents the material input and your one output, and that's just a crafting recipe for a grid, which is great. And so then those would sit inside of here, and it would process all of that. You know, the next big things that I would want to do are the different processors. So starting out with a processor binding, which I'm not going to need for a while, but we still want to make it. don't want to do that with the pink slime. 1 second. That one. Okay, whatever. I will leave it as the pink slime. I'm sure it'll process fine with regular slime. Because it does use the OR dictionary. Alright, we're going to need a processor. Improved processor. Advanced. Okay. And then each one of these has to go through processing. So 1 becomes 1. And this is actually going to be an interesting take. And then we're going to have to do the cores. See how important those get. They had other ones. I don't remember what they were. Don't see them directly in here. I'm pretty sure they're part of the expanded one. But that's what we want to do first. So inside of here, we want to do the raw ones, not the processed ones. Actually, these ones would be able to fit in there, but we don't have enough space in that crafter. There are upgrades for the crafter. You take a chest, 4 iron, and that upgrades that. And then same thing for gold. There's the neural processors I was trying to think about. And they also have the diamond ones and netherite. But we'll get to those later. This one will be fine for now. And then we'll just drop these all back into there like that. Okay. We're going to need to make a couple of items here. Coated ender chest. Obsidian rods. Wool. Okay. Is that an ender pearl or is that an eye bender? Ender pearl. Okay. 2 obsidian and 1 wool. 1 wool. And then obsidian. Trying to remember where I put obsidian. It's crying obsidian. There we go. Just remember to have to do them in 2s. So similar to an ender tank, we're going to be making an ender chest that you can code the colors on top of. And then it does kind of go across the entirety of the server. So I have to work with people on here about, picking their colors. That way we're not overlapping and I get somebody else's junk sucked up into my system, because that would suck. Just trying to see if I have... Oh, that'll turn into obsidian. It's all my exploration chests. Nope. Any of the digital stuff? Construction cores. These had machines and stuff in it, which I thought might be useful. Put slime away. come over here, go boop. Instantly 2 obsidian. Okay. So one more wool. Ender pearl. 4 more. Okay, made 2 of those. So the reason why I'm doing this, and kind of important that I find a good spot for these. Okay, go grab some dye real quick, and I'm going to put the other one over here. I'm going to start taking these down and having all of these outputs go into there. So, as you see, they're all going in there, and then they are going to be translated over to this one. See? Same thing, same box. And I'm going to make importer. Before I do that, I also need to make external storage. Grab my cables out. And I have to put a good way to do that right there. Okay, that's gonna have to go there. I'm gonna have to reconfigure the power of this thing. Put it all in there. I bet I put it all in there. I did. Okay, so I'm just lifting the power pipes up so I can run cable through there as well. Not a big deal. So set the input on top. All right. Then do nasty cabling going across the top of this thing. Yeah, put it like that. It's fine. Okay, so now this can see every item I have over here. And I believe I set the priority higher on this one. Set. So now if anything comes into the system over here, it'll end up going over to here. So got 8 iron ingots. Let's test this out real quick. So if I dump anything directly into there, it should go over here first. But it didn't. Does it have to be a lower priority? Oh, I bet it did go in over there. Got these stupid ones set up on this side. Okay, so that says 0. That one says 8. Let's make sure this is a positive number. Priority. Plus 10 set. There we go. Okay, put a little bit in there. That still says 8, but then it should have at least 64 over here. Yep, 1 by 64. So I have to go back through each one of these that I've duplicated over here and revert them so that they don't drop here. I originally had 2 different sets, one for mob drops and one for stuff I was smelting, and I need to fix that. So, you know, why don't I fix that right now? I need the key, and I need... There's Stonematic. Alright, so unlock. Click on there, those will go into the compacting drawer. Same as that. Lock this up again. And set it down. Okay. So that's fine. I think this is the other one I have to do that too. Okay, so unlock, and I've got redstone over there, and I'd rather have redstone compacted because some recipes require you use redstone blocks instead of redstone dust. Having a compacting drawer allows that system to see both together and not have to deal with that. Eventually, I'm going to pull over the system from... No, okay, that's not there. So it's going to pull over the system from the other side. Put those there for now. Because I already have glowstone over there. Same with that one. And then all of those ones in that set are going to have to come over here as well. But it's a separate system. Because they didn't have a whole lot of forethought. Which is fine. Happens to the best of us. Okay, so that's done. That's this guy. Boop. Place him back down. And I think that's it. Yes. Alright, so got that going. Now this storage system says, oh, I have a royal F ton of material to use. Cool beans. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to break this. Grab all of those materials out that are supposed to be in those drawers. Enriched iron, diamonds, emeralds. I would much rather those, I'm going to do that with all that silicon, I'd much rather those be in these drawers, taking up as little extra space as possible. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come over here, smash and grab action. Like, oh, how unfortunate. Gunpowder block. blocks. We'll do the rest of this later. It's the famous last words. Okay. Oop, connect that back up. Quartz merged iron. Cool. Alright, so now everything gets like phenomenally easy from here because of how simple this is going to be. So now we're going to have an importer. Oh, so before I do that, I want to color these. Because an all-white one means that anybody with an all-white one would be able to straight draw out of that. So I want to make my colors and go to my dyes. I think I'll go light blue. Light blue. Red. Why not? Alright, so light blue. Blue, red. And I gotta do the same on this one. And I don't recall if I have to empty the contents first. Betting I do, so that's probably a safe bet to let's take this real quick. Blue and red. Okay. So all the things just backed up in there, and they'll make their way there on their own. Okay, so now I want to put an importer on this thing. And what that's going to do is slowly take the contents of this box and put it into the system. Preferring the external storage system over that, because this is bulk storage where, you know, I can have thousands of items dumped in here and it's not consuming disk space. And these disks I'll end up having to empty out and stuff like that too. But that's the easy part of it. So now we get the joy of making all the upgrades so that speed and stack get popped into there. And then I need to make what's an interface. And that takes an exporter, an importer, and a machine casing. And the interface says, lets you filter items so that you can export certain items and act as a gathering point for items to be imported. Usually I do an export, but an interface is going to work fine for that. And then I'm also going to need to put a crafter over here, which means I need to extend my power all the way down there, lifting that up, and then I'll have a cable come through, which is royally going to mess some stuff up. Or potentially not. I don't know. Oh, it's going to be fun. So the goal in this is to transition so that my system here will be able to make and craft its own items. So I can say, I need, you know, a raw improved one. I'll hit start. It'll show me the items that I need for it. I'll hit start on that if they're available. If I don't have the materials needed for it, then it'll complain. And then it'll go to the crafter. It'll start crafting. And when it completes, it'll kick it back in the system. And now I have one raw improved processor. So if I need to make a whole bunch of basic ones, 64, start, okay, that's the materials used to make it, and start. And then, as you can see, it's starting to craft them automatically. When I have more complex things in place where it needs to craft the underlying materials to craft a higher tier item, it'll do the same thing, and it'll kind of gauge everything out, which is super helpful for all the mystical agriculture stuff. So making all of these into the higher level essence. The only problem that I found with that is you need to make multiple infusion crystals, otherwise it fails, because it doesn't understand that it only needs one infusion crystal to do that an infinite number of times, so it's just a safe bet to have one for each tier. Oh, processor bindings. I really want to put these over here. It's not a mob drop, but that way don't want to type anymore. I forgot, I had a bunch in there. I want to take them all out first. And then I could pop them back in. And there should be 653. Yeah, no, 325. Okay. Something like that. But I want to do that. Pop. So that way I alleviate the storage usage here. As you can see, it's already building up. I'm going to have it go the way that it is, and it's going to take multiple processing steps to make iron and stuff like that instead of auto-processing straight in, because the crusher makes a whole bunch of different items and they don't all go to the... She's snoring! Ah, it teaches me. What if we switch to ghosties, huh? Would she be down for ghosties? Because I got accomplished what I want to get accomplished. I can always do automating next time. Digital storage, fun. Automation, more fun for me because that's like my job. Out like a log. Okay, well, I guess I'll finish my digital storage then. Let's see, it's 9:30 my time. I probably only have maybe about 10 minutes left here. Really not much I'm going to be able to do in that amount of time, but let me start by making that interface. Importer, exporter, interface. Oop. This is all the fun stuff where you actually get into, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because it doesn't say about hosting. I know we get notifications for raids, for follows, and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't get anything about hosting. Yeah, I know what you mean, because I've seen them pop up on other streams. They'll say, thanks for the host, but... Interesting. I'm going to look into that. Not at the moment, but I'm definitely going to look into that. Stuff away. Interface to the world, yes. Alright, so the cool part about an interface, if you haven't done this before, is this lets you specify certain materials that you want to be exported out of a system. And in this case, there we go. Imports to the top. So anything that comes in gets imported. Anything that gets exported comes across here. This is a filter list, and then they'll show up at the bottom to be sucked out. So I'm gonna do item pipe here, bottom. Grab a wrench. Change that to pull out. And now it's just going to the one chest. Cool. I've got to go grab a bunch of cable and figure out how I'm going to route this, because it's going to be uglier than sin. Maybe I should have just gone over. Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to go over here because that import's there. That's fine. I'll work it out. So over here, alright, boring part, laying down cable. Whatever. Ah, there we go. This thing's live. So now if I wanted to import to it, very slowly take that cable and put it back into the digital system over here. So, see, cable's piling up. But I'm not really using that for the import function, I'm using it for the export function, with the import being an added bonus if I want to use it later. So what I want to find is iron dust. Okay. So essentially what I'm going to do here is take the iron dust, say, put that as my export, and it's immediately going to take it and start loading this thing up with iron dust. Okay, so that's going to allow me to auto-process everything at that point. So iron, done. But I'm going to have to do that for every single one of the metals that I want to process that way, which is not going to be fun. Another way I can do that is having an external storage and hook it up to another drawer system over here, and then pull out of the drawers directly into there for each one of the dusts that it creates. I don't know if I want to do that yet, so, but that's probably a more efficient way to do that. Uglier and bulkier, but keeps all the junk out of the system. Iron comes through. Alright, what else did I want to do? Oh yeah, I gotta make a crafter. Crafter. One more crafter, and then... Ooh. This part's tedious, because you gotta do it just right. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that just right. I'm a klutz. My parkour skills would get me killed in PvP. I believe should be able to break. No. Not break my power. Yeah, but I don't want it facing that way. I need it to face down. That's why this part's so tedious. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to have... let's get a bunch of scaffolding blocks here. So it's going to look uglier than sin. You know what? Maybe I do have to break that temporarily. So let's get rid of that there. Break that one. And then... there we go. That's better. So now it's going to take anything that I put in this crafter and it's going to shoot it into this chest to be processed. So that means any raw bindings that need to be turned into, let's see, patterns, one raw, advanced, raw basic. Those are crafting ones, not processing. Okay, so boop, boop, boop. So these will now process by dumping them into that, and that'll put them in there for smelting. But I'm out of power because I'm an idiot and only have solar power. I need to invest in diversity of my power solutions. Okay. Let's break all the dirt. There we go. And just to kind of show this one off, because it's really fun to do. So we have one improved processor. I'm going to take those real quick. And now I can craft, let's say craft 10. Okay, so it needs to craft 9 of those, and then it'll process them. Okay. And I need crafting grid. No, not a crafting grid. It's defined. Which grid do we need? Pattern grid, portable grid. It's like a processing grid or something like that. Crafting monitor. Crafting monitor is what I want to make. I need 2 patterns, which means I gotta go steal 2 patterns, because why not? Monitor. Okay, so the monitor lets me see how it's processing. So it's scheduled 10 of those. I'm gonna walk my happy self over here. It has now put those tin in there to be processed, but because this thing is so wonderful and full of iron dust to get processed right now, it's going through. Okay, so those are going through, getting dumped out. Let's see. Processing 6. So this number will start going down as they get through. And complete. So that, I'll definitely let you know what I find out there, Big. That is crafting and automated crafting at its finest. Alright, well with that, I'm probably going to end up cutting my stream a little bit short tonight. I know it's a kind of a short one, a little bit over an hour, but I do have to get some sleep. I've got a day job tomorrow. And yeah, I need to get away from the screen for a bit. Thanks for joining me, everybody, and hope to see you next time. We can do some more fun things now that we're into digital crafting. You know, before I hop off, some rewards. You can always pop in here to your journal and go to your digital storage, see what things you need to do. So, I do all the fluid disks, fluid grids. I haven't done fluids with it too much. Security manager, so you can prevent people from accessing it. Wireless grid, so you can run around and have a little grid in front of you that's portable to access your storage and crafting. Yeah, those be pretty much what I get to do next time around. Appetite seeds, huh? I'm only going to collect the ones for digital storage since that's what we worked on today. And again, I only collected the seeds for the ones I did today. Okay, so that's that. Next time I'll get into the wireless stuff and go through more of the crafting. And then at some point I've got to come up with a better power system, because the one that we have here, while it works, doesn't work incredibly well. On, and I'll sort all that off camera. And I'll probably move all the stuff from over there and have all the item exports come over to this thing. That way keep everything nice and tidied. And those ones, once I get all the netherite stuff, will be powered. So I'll probably upgrade the system over there so it exports the items, imports the power using universal pipes, which I already have laid in the ground. I'll just have to run them over there. No problems. Alright, so now I really am ending. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.